Well, firstly, thank you so much for talking to me. It's a real privilege to sort of meet you. So, thank you so much. I just want, and Kim as well. Kim's their sort of head of the James Bulger Foundation, friend to Denise as well, and I know that you're here for sort of support as well. So, yeah. So, talk me through yesterday. You must have been so nervous in the morning.
It wasn't just yesterday, it's been the past few weeks really, because I didn't know what way it was going to go. We didn't even know what day we were going to be told. So when I got the news that his parole had been, taken away from him, I was just like stuck in a moment sort of thing, thinking, have I just heard properly? So I was like, so he's been denied parole. So Stu went, that's my husband, he went, yeah, he's been denied it. And I'm thinking, no, there's been a mistake here somewhere. I'm still kind of coming to terms with it because it's the very first time I've felt in 30 years that I've actually been listened to. All that I've said and done in the past, it's now come to light that what I have said was the truth. And I just wished, they listened to me back then and not waited 30 years to listen to me now, because it's took me a long time to get over James's death anyway. But to continue the fight the way I have done and the way I continue to do, it's just been like one roller coaster of a rise of the 30 years that I've had to do it.
You have kept fighting. It's right. You fought.
I've always said that I'd never give up. James needs a voice. Obviously, he's not here to speak for himself, so I feel like I've got to speak on his behalf, and that's the way I've thought about it all these years, and that's the way I've seen it through.
And what were you trying to tell people? You say you didn't feel listened to. What was it you wanted to tell them?
What I wanted from the very beginning was for the two, I can't even name them, the two killers who took James's life. I wanted them to serve time in an adult prison, not just the young offenders, which that's what they've done. They served under 8 years in the young offenders, then they were released. So I feel like they were never punished for the crime. And I did say from the beginning, because they weren't properly punished, because they never went to a proper prison, that either one or both of them are going to go on to re-offend, and that's exactly what's happened.
And I know you don't want to say his name, which is absolutely fair enough, but just so people know who we're talking about, Jon Venables, he didn't bother turning up to his own parole hearing as well. No,
he didn't. That shows you how much of a coward he is. Even to this day, he's just denying everything that he's done. In my eyes, he feels like he's done right. He feels like he's the celebrity in all this. He feels like he's the one that's done wrong, been wrong done by, but he hasn't. It's him that's done all this. He's caused this in my life. He's caused 30 years of pain in my life, and not only that, he's took James's life away from him. He never got his first day at school. He never got the chance to go on and marry and have his own kids. He's took all that away, and what he's took away from me now is we've got our own little granddaughter now. Now I'm looking at people posting pictures, new grandparents posting pictures of their grandchild on social media. I can't do that because understandably my son doesn't want his daughter known or seen in case it falls under the wrong eyes, and I totally get that.
Yeah, the impact on you, but your whole family.
The entire family, yeah. I mean, he destroyed one life with James, but then he's completely destroyed a family, my family.
There's been a lot in the press recently, debate about whether or not people who don't attend, for example, their sentencing hearings should have harsher sentences, for example, put on them, because it's not facing up, like you say, to what they've done. Jon Venables didn't go to his sort of parole hearing. Do you think that is something that should be changed?
God, definitely, yeah. There's too many now who are deciding whether they want to turn up or not. They should be made to turn up. They should be made to face these families who they've destroyed. Not hide away in a prison cell or young offenders. They should be made to face these families.
I think the point is as well that with a parole hearing, it's to actually decide whether they're allowed to be released, Tony. Well, if they don't attend their parole hearing, it should be squashed at that point, because they're not taking responsibility. The responsibility is to attend that and show the parole board that they have rehabilitated. So if they don't attend, as far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't continue with the hearing.
Definitely not.
You've met quite a lot of Justice Secretaries recently.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster in Westminster.
First one we met was Dominic Raab, who was, you know, absolutely amazing. What he said to me, you know, I walked out of the room and I said to Stuart and Kim, as he actually just said that.
What did he say? What did he say?
Am I allowed to say this?
So obviously Dominic was the one that put the reform bill, the stages of it together. And when we met him, he came out with a file on James, which was about that thick, and there were just pages and pages, hundreds of notes. And I said to Denise afterwards, I felt like he has used Denise's tragedy, but to try and help going forward with the reform bill and use it like a case study, if you like. And he actually said to her, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he doesn't get released. But that was back then, before we'd seen anything come into force, so it was...
But what he first said, when I walked into the room and I sat in front of him, I thought, I'm going to have to explain the whole situation from start. And he, before I said anything, before I got the chance to say anything, he went, I know all about your case, I followed it from the beginning, and I thought, oh my God, I don't have to sit here and go through, you know, what James went through. So he just, as Kim just said, he just knew everything, which was a big help, really, to me.
And then you had Brandon Lewis for a very short period, and then more recently Alex Chalk. How has Alex Chalk been? He's
been amazing as well. You know, what he says was basically the same as what Dominic said. With having two, you know, three powerful men, you know, to where the words coming from their mouths just made me think maybe this is the justice that I'm finally going to get for James. But there's always that doubt in the back of your mind. You think, you know, this could still go either way. Although I'm hearing these words, it could still go the opposite way. So I was prepared for that. And then recent reports was, you know, if Venables is released, there's going to be, you know, high security put on him. He's going to be tagged. I've asked for this in the past and I've been told now he won't be tagged. He's going to be curfews. And, you know, I thought with all this coming out now, he is going to be released, because I thought they're not going to put all this in place if he's going to be kept in. So to hear the news yesterday that, you know, he's been denied parole, I was just like, I said, I'm still like in shock. I still can't believe it. I'm thinking now I'm finally done it. Hopefully this is it now. I hope he never sees the light of day again. He doesn't deserve to get out, because if he does get out, he's still at a great danger to kids, because he's just not rehabilitated at all. All the money that's been spent on him hasn't worked. The money that has been spent on him should have been spent on kids who you know, were seriously sick in hospital. These hospitals need new machines to help prolong their lives and, you know, make them feel better. But, you know, it's getting spent on the wrong people.
And you were right, you say that he's still a danger. That's what the parole board found.
Yeah, he's still, yeah. What I've said all these years, he's proven me right. So, you know.
We've spent a lot of time talking about Venables. I'd like to talk about James a bit. Yeah. What was he like as a little boy?
He was just entertaining. He loved to entertain. He loved playing with other kids. I come from a big family. He's got a lot of nieces and nephews, and we all went to my mum's and we all let them play together, and he was just a joy to be around. He was never one to walk anywhere. He was always bouncing everywhere. That's why you see on many videos his hair bouncing. That's how fast he was. He was like a little... He was just like a little machine. Yeah, he was. It was just so hard to keep up with him. But, you know, we always laughed, and, you know, as I say, he brought so much joy to the people that knew him. Happy memories, yeah. They were short memories, but there's still memories that I've got, and no one can take them away from me.
And how do you sort of keep the sort of memories of him alive? Is there things that you do, or as a family, or like...
We think of James every single day. You know, we have a large picture above the fireplace in our house. You know, I've never shied away from talking about James with the lads when they were growing up, because I didn't want to just spring it on them. So I've brought them up kind of knowing James, even though they've never met him. So I'm glad I've done that, really, because, you know, talking about James, it's just like he's still here. You know, the lads feel that, you know, they've grown up with him. As I said to you, although they've never met him, they feel like they know him. because you know the stories are always there for me to tell. Even as all lads were growing up and they do certain things, I go, James used to do that. Never shied anything away from him. Never stopped talking about him. He's always talked about in our house.
It's lovely to hear that. And you know, you sort of say how, you know, oh, James used to do that, James used to do that. Is there like a particular kind of memory you have of him, you know, doing something like
the curtains with the creases?
Yeah, there was one time I gave him a pack of chipsticks, so he goes out to get him a drink, so comes back in with the drink and looks at the curtains, because I had the curtains drawn at the time, and there was all these chipsticks hanging off my curtains. He was just throwing at the curtain. I was like, yeah, there's your drink.
I can relate to that with, like, you know, as a mum, I can definitely sort of relate to that as well. You wrote in a book about sort of your experiences. Just remind us what that book was called.
I Let Him Go.
And why did you call it? Why did you?
Because I did. I let go of his hands. It was split seconds, but you know, that day when I had hold of his hands and I did say to him, stay there, don't move, and it just so quickly turned around, he'd gone. So that's why the book was called I Let Him Go.
I mean, you were like such an inspirational mother. You've done him so proud, and you've just kept fighting for him every step of the way, every moment of the way. And you should know that, you know, that you've done James so proud with everything you've done.
That's nice of you to say, thank you so much. You know, them words mean so much to me. But yeah, I mean, when I feel like I'm losing memory of James, all I've got to do now is pick up my book and it's all there.
And also, like, say you've got photos of him in the house, you talk about him, your whole family
as well. You've got James's
really?
garden.
Yeah, we have a special private garden in the back of our house where there's a plaque with James's name on. We have all like garden ornaments, like panda bears and you know, stuff like that, because we can't buy him presents. So that's our way of buying for James, is by buying new ornaments. Even at Christmas time, it's all lit up at Christmas, so we can't buy him Christmas presents. So what we do is we buy him for his own little private garden. So like, he's never forgotten about that way either. We still buy him at Christmas. We still buy him for his birthday. We still buy him, you know, for his anniversary. Even if it is just a small ornament, he's still getting something from us.
And then looking forward, you've kind of won this fight. But I mean, if I know anything about you, you're going to keep the fight going.
His parole is here and it's going to be another 2 years, and God forbid if I'm still here in 2 years, I will be fighting again, because I don't think he should ever be released.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.